Every time you visit a website, your browser sends something called an HTTP request. Basically, it's just a message saying, hey, show me this page. But here's what most people don't know. That request doesn't go straight to the website's code. Before that happens, it gets stopped and checked first. This process is called request filtering. Are you logged in? Are you allowed to see this page? Is your request even valid? In Laravel, this filtering step has a name. It's called middleware. And once you understand how it works, you'll finally understand what's really happening behind that loading screen. Let's break it down. Let's slow down for a second. As a developer, what actually happens the moment a request hits your Laravel app? Most beginners assume it's simple. A request comes in, it matches a route, and the app responds. Straightforward. But that's not the full picture. Before that route is allowed to respond, Laravel doesn't hand off the request directly. It passes it through a filtering step first. Every request gets checked, reviewed, either approved to continue or rejected right there. This filtering step is what we call middleware. And understanding this step is what separates an app that just works from an app that's actually protected and reliable. Think of middleware as a set of rules that a request must pass before it's allowed to reach its destination. Each middleware handles one specific check. One might confirm the user is logged in. Another might confirm they have permission for that specific action. Another might validate the request itself. And you're not limited to just one check. Laravel can stack multiple layers of middleware on a single route, and they run one after another in a defined order. This means every condition a request needs to satisfy gets checked up front before anything else happens. Nothing moves forward until it passes. If a request fails any one of these checks, it stops right there. It never reaches the rest of the app. Now, here's why this actually matters. Without middleware, every single check, is this user logged in? Are they allowed here? Is this request valid? Would have to be repeated everywhere that check is needed, over and over, across every part of the app. That's not just repetitive, it's risky. Miss one check in one place, and you've got an unprotected route sitting in your app without anyone even realizing it. Middleware solves this by centralizing that logic. The check gets defined once, then applied to as many routes as needed. Every part of the app stays focused on its actual job, instead of also having to gatekeep itself. This is exactly why Laravel, and most modern frameworks, build this filtering system as a core part of how requests are handled, not as an afterthought. So how is this filtering step actually structured? Each middleware handles exactly one job. One checks authentication, one checks permissions, one validates the request. They stay separate, so each one stays simple and reusable across different routes. When a request comes in, Laravel runs it through the first middleware in line. If it passes, Laravel moves to the next, then the next. This ordered sequence is what we call the middleware chain. Only once the request passes every middleware in that chain does it finally reach its destination, where the app processes it and sends back a response. If it fails at any point, the chain stops immediately, and a response gets sent back right there. Maybe a redirect to a login page, maybe an error, depending on what check it failed. This is what makes middleware so useful. A new filtering rule can be added anytime, applied to any route, without touching anything else in the app. And that's middleware. A simple filtering step, but one that's quietly protecting almost every request your app handles. It checks, it approves, it rejects, all before your app even gets a chance to respond. Small concept, but once you understand it, a lot of how modern web apps work starts making a lot more sense. If this video helped, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.